Hi, I'm Shawn Hendrikx, a Collections and Content Strategies Librarian at Western Libraries. In this video, we'll explore the history of academic journal publishing in Canada, the strategies Western Libraries uses to manage journal subscriptions, what we call serials, and potential next steps we can take to reach a more financially sustainable future for our libraries. To begin, following World War II, universities everywhere saw major expansion. Academics produced more research, resulting in increased content for journal publications that magnified scholarly communications worldwide. And when the internet came to be in the 1990s, this boom in research output was bolstered by a large shift to digital journal formats. Journal publishers began to offer deals to universities so they could continue to use journals they previously licensed in print, now with journal access. And they would also gain access to all the publishers' other serials. This was seen as advantageous to publishers and libraries, since researchers would gain access to more content for the same cost. Long term, however, these so-called big deal agreements have led to serious problems. The top 5 publishers, Elsevier, Wiley, Springer, Taylor, Francis, and Sage, now control over 50% of the serials market, and more than 70% in STEM and health science disciplines. These publishers often report profit margins between 20 and 40%. Publishers have increased the cost of individual subscriptions to the point where leaving a big deal defined cost savings would result in massive losses to access academic content. At the same time, these publishers have significantly inflated their journal holdings by acquiring independent titles and society presses. This increased content drives up the cost of the big deal, and subscribers are then forced to bear the cost increases or cancel and suffer a significant loss of access to content. At Western, 80% of our library acquisitions budget is now spent on journals, journal packages, and databases. This leaves little room for books, streaming video, and other important research materials. On top of that, much of the content in these journals is produced by university faculty who contribute articles, edit, and peer review as part of standard scholarly communications, and at no cost to the publishers. This content is then sold back to university libraries with limited opportunities for the general public to access it, the same public that pays taxes to fund grant-based research. Western Libraries has invested a lot of time and expertise analyzing and evaluating our serial subscriptions. To make informed purchase decisions, we collect data through campus surveys and usage statistics to find out which journals are most important for teaching and research, and to predict which resources will be the most in demand. This helps manage our current and future journal and database purchases so we can best meet the needs of researchers and students. So what else can Western Libraries do to ensure users continue to enjoy access to the resources they need while responsibly managing our budget? Some schools have outright canceled their journal subscriptions, insisting instead on agreements that shift from a pay-for-subscription to pay-for-publication model. This has been met with varying degrees of success, but it also puts schools in a precarious position with the potential loss of access to key journals. Other schools have unbundled big deal subscriptions and only purchased journals required by their users, kind of like canceling a TV package and subscribing only to certain channels instead. But like TV providers, one can easily spend the same amount or more for less content. Currently, Western Libraries tries to negotiate more favorable license terms, often in collaboration with national and provincial groups. Western and many other universities have also increased their investment in open access publications. Open access is an ideal way to share scholarly information and is a promising strategy to achieve a more financially sustainable future. Today, publishers are under increasing pressure to make their journals open access in recognition of the need to make publicly funded research available to all. I hope this video helps explain the current landscape of scholarly publishing and the pressures that school libraries across Canada face as journal and database subscriptions come at greater and greater costs. Western Libraries continues to evaluate how we spend our budget, and we look for opportunities to transition away from big deals with journal publishers toward alternatives such as open access. You can also visit the FAQ section of our Serials Review page for more information about our work.